Hello, welcome to Bragway TV. If you are new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. How African Cup of Nations started. On June 1956, the creation of the Confederation of African Football was proposed during the FIFA Congress held in Lisbon. There were 7 delegates in attendance, and it was decided that the first African Cup of Nations would be held the following year. The first ever African Cup of Nations was held on February 1957 in Khartoum, Sudan. When the game started in 1957, beneath the extremely hot sun of the Nubia Desert in Sudan, no one would have thought that it would turn out to be such a huge deal. And here we are now, several decades later. The African Nations Cup has witnessed several expansions and growth. When the game started out, there were no need for qualifying matches, as there were only the 4 founding nations of CAF: Sudan, Egypt, Ethiopia, and South Africa. South Africa was later disqualified from the competition because they insisted on using only white players as a result of the apartheid policy in South Africa then. This gave Ethiopia a straight ticket to the finals, where they played against Egypt and lost. Egypt is the first ever winner of the African Nations Cup. They defeated the host, Sudan, in the semi-finals and then Ethiopia in the finals. 2 years after that, Egypt hosted the second competition in Cairo with the same 3 countries playing the games. This time around, they defeated Sudan to win the cup. By the 3rd African Cup of Nations in 1962, there were now 9 teams to play the competition. This time around, it was hosted by Ethiopia and played in Addis Ababa. And for the first time since the inception of the game, there was a qualification round to determine which 4 teams will play for the title of champions in the final rounds. Egypt, being the reigning champion, qualified automatically, as did Ethiopia for being the host. Nigeria and Tunisia came out of the qualification rounds to join them in the finals. Again, for the 3rd time in a row, Egypt made their 3rd appearance in the finals, but they lost the title to Ethiopia, who proved themselves a force to be reckoned with all through the games. Gradually, the competition grew to include more teams until it finally arrived at the 16 teams that played. Every 2 years that the games are played, it witnessed obvious growth, with each competition better than the last, and every competition became an opportunity for each country to show off their best players. Papa Kamara, Petit Sori, and Sheriff Sulaiman were the star players of an excellent green side back then. Very few Africans today, especially the earliest generation, will have heard of the Algerian slammers, Ghanaian dribbling wizard Ose Kofi, or Ethiopian captain Italo Vassallo. These men were among a host of legends to play in the Nations Cup tournaments of the 1960s. They were the football legends that everyone spoke about then, the way we now speak about the likes of JJ Okocha, Yaya Toure, Eto'o, Drogba, Kanu Nwankwo, and others. In the beginning, Ethiopia and Sudan were the big stars as pioneers, but over time, their performance has declined. Countries like Ghana, Egypt, and Cameroon have managed to record several streaks of wins. The power shift that occurred is really noticeable, but Egypt has managed to hold on tight to their initial glory. South Africa made a comeback into the African Nations Cup scene 39 years after they were banned at the end of the apartheid. They rescued the governing body CAF by hosting the games in the expanded 16-team games after Kenya withdrew as a host. The last African Cup of Nations was held in 2017 and was hosted by Gabon. The winner was Cameroon, and they will be returning as the defending champion in the 2019 edition that will be hosted by Egypt, and it will hold from 21st of June to 19th of July 2019. An interesting fact about this year's competition is the fact that it is the first time that it will be held since the games expanded from a 16-nation teams to a 24-nation teams. It should be a pretty exciting one. What's your take on African Nations Cup? Let's know in the comment section. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share, and subscribe to our channel.